2 PJ here, this Dog Pound 24/7. Thanks for tuning in to my channel. If you're new to the channel, please go ahead, take that time, hit that subscribe, hit that like, and hit that notification bell for all the latest content being dropped. Good evening to you all. Thanks for coming back to the channel. I have a quick video for you guys. We're going to break down the telephones inside the prison system because guess what, people? These phones, they cause a lot of problems. Indeed, they do. I know people that have not been to prison are probably watching this. Out of all things, a telephone? Yeah, these phones become real inside the prison system. But before I break that down, I want to thank all you guys for your loyalty and dedication on my channel. You guys have been awesome. And for all you new subscribers, if you don't know what I'm about, go back to the videos at the beginning. You know, start watching them. You guys can, you know, get to know me a little bit better. But as you all know and may not know, I did a 6-year prison bid in the New York State prison system for Berg second grand larceny firearms. So that's just pretty much what I'm about. My channel is to help the next man. That's what I'm about. All right. You know, I started this channel a few months ago, and it's growing, and you know, slowly but surely it's growing. But you know, I'm happy with what I got, man. You know, if I can help at least one person or one person get something from my videos, I've done my job. But please hit that like button, because people, if you hit that like button, it helps my channel grow. It helps my, you know, my videos get more views and, you know, etc. So please and thank you. So let's get into this video. Let's break down these phones in prison. All right, all right, when it comes to phones in prison, okay, that is one of the main things that, you know, us as inmates had or have inside behind them walls to communicate with our people on the outside. All right, now phones are ran differently from East Coast to West Coast. All right, West Coast phones are ran totally different from the East Coast. All right, I mean, I'm going to speak on a little bit of West Coast from the knowledge that I do know, but if I'm wrong, please correct me in the comments. But out West phones, I do know are ran by race. All right, like the whites have their own phones, the blacks have their own phones, you know, and so on. I know if you get caught on a phone that ain't yours, it's going to be problems, all right? Problems isn't, it can extend for, you know, them just warning you to, you know, throwing hands, to a cutting, to whatever. It can go as far as being poked up behind the phone. I know it can. I've seen it, you know, in other channels, people breaking this down. I've seen it, you know, in them prison movies, you know, not the prison movies like Hollywood, but documentaries, you know. You see this shit, and it's crazy, but that's real, man. These phones are real. I mean, they take this to the next level. If you violate it, they're gonna handle you. But you know, East Coast, when it comes to the telephones, everything's pretty neutral with it. You might have, it depends on what, you know, spot you're in, you know. Like in Max's, phones are ran different than mediums, and you know, so on. Because certain Maxes, you can only make phone calls at certain times of the week. Few times, you know, you can only call home like 3 times out of the week. You know, but the main thing is too, if there's like time limit on them, you don't want to have 2 clicks, because each click is like roughly 15-20 minutes. All right, that's plenty of time to talk to your people, because I've seen what I've seen. All right, if you got mad people waiting to use that phone, right? You don't want to be disrespectful and do 2 clicks, man. You do 2 clicks, you're going to definitely be throwing hands, especially when there's mad people waiting for you. All right? I've seen it happen numerous times. I've seen this kid, he was fresh up. He must have been only locked down, I don't know, maybe 2 months. All right? He was new to this system. He came to a Max. This is when I was in Clinton. All right, where them 2 inmates escaped that I made a video on back in 2015 or 16, I believe. Right, he was 2 months fresh up, you know what I'm saying? So he was on the phone, he was trying to get a whole, you know, explain to his people everything, right? He said, actually, when his phone, it gives you a warning, you got 1 minute, you know, it tells you got a minute before your phone expires. But this kid was, you know, trying to get his people you know, everything about the system, visits, you know, package info, all that stuff. And like, I remember I was standing next to him, and dudes were waiting behind him, right? So dude said something to him before, you know, I'm next or whatever, right? So what happened was his phone was ending, and he didn't get to be able to tell his people everything he wanted to tell them, so he ended up calling him back, and that caused some beef over it. Dude came up straight up and just went click, hung up right in the middle of the conversation, right? Homeboy didn't do nothing. right? He didn't do a damn thing. And that's weak right there. You don't want to show weakness, because even though he was in the wrong, like I didn't see it, but I know he ended up getting dealt with, later on that night by dude. Ran up in his cell. I heard about it. I didn't see it, but that's the type of stuff that will happen. You want to be respectable, man, when it comes to that phone. All right? I've had people, this is where the issue came in when I was on the phone. All right? Say you're waiting in line, right? And, it's kind of like a crowded area and there's mad people right there. It's hard to hear on them phones because it sounds like your people are so distant on them phones sometimes. So I was on the phone and mad dudes were being crazy loud, like yelling right there, and I can't even hear it. And that shit costs your people some money too. And you got dudes sitting there yelling right in your ear. That's mad crazy. So I said, yo, homie, please, man. That's all I said. And dude, he's like, oh, my bad. And he kept doing it. Like, dude was off the chain, man. He kept doing it. So, meanwhile, I'm not even in a good mood at this time, because I at this time when I was on the phone, I was finding out some bad news about my grandmother at the time. Finding out she was real sick and everything. So, this is what I was so mad. Like, I was to the point I didn't even care anymore. So I said, dude kept yelling. So I looked at him again with that look, like, what it is, man. So he's like, he just gave me that look, and then he started yelling again. So I said, finally, I can't. I was on the jack, so I crept to the wall, real close to the wall, and so he can get right in close to me. I said, yo, come here, I gotta ask you something. So I gotta ask you something, dude. I took that phone, one whack right across his face. He folded, grabbing his cheek, and then homeboy next to me fucking yoked me up. My boy fucking yoked him up, and by that time the COs were there within seconds, dude. It was crazy because there's a bubble right there where the COs all hang out. But that's what it is. I ended up getting 30 days lockdown, and I'm lucky I didn't get more because they didn't know I used the phone on them. Thank God. If there was cameras in that part, I would have been fucked, but there was no cameras at that part, which you would think is kind of awkward. There's no cameras by the phones, because that's where a lot of shit goes off right there. But that's what I did, man. That's what can happen, though. You don't want to be disrespectful. And I've seen mad dudes get hit with the phone. I've seen it like probably 3 or 4 times throughout my bed, and that's what can happen. You want to be easy with it. If you don't want to be yelling next to dude. There's dudes on the phone. Show your respect, man. You don't know what that man's dealing with. I was going through a hard time right there. And I felt like I had to do something. And at the time, I really honestly, listen, I'm not that type of dude, but I know, I heard people like, saying shit in the background, be like, yo, homeboy, letting them, violating them on that phone, violating. I can hear it, third party, getting in my head, putting that battery in my back. So I knew I had to do something, because dude was just violating me, disrespecting me like crazy. So I had to pluck him with the phone, and I did. Dude, I got him good, man. I got him good. I don't even know what he looked like. I'd never even seen the dude again, because he went straight to the box. I don't know what he did. I got locked. I got keep locked for 30 days behind it. But that's what it is, people. You want to be respectable on them phones. On phones, like I said, are only 15, 20 minutes on them phones max. All right, and them shits, it depended on what state. I remember in the beginning of my bid, that used to cost my people like $6, $7 for each phone call. All right, because it'd be like 3 minutes to even connect. And then it's like so many cents after that. It's crazy, but it got a lot cheaper. Our governor in New York State, I ended up breaking that right in half, where it's like half of what it was before. It's like $3 and change for a phone call now, which is manageable, because that was breaking people's pockets, man. That shit was crazy. But that's how the phones work, like that, up in the maxes. Now the mediums, when you're in, most mediums that I've been to, a lot of them have booths or a little closet with a door. In New York State anyway. I don't know about other states, but I'm sure, it's the setup's kind of similar, you know what I'm saying? But it's not as like, strict, because when you're in a max, like I said, you only have like a few days out of the week where you can use the phones. It goes, on what gallery tier, what block, what building. It's all different maxes and everything like that. But when you go out to the yard, you can use the phone anytime in the yard. But up on your gallery, whatnot, They're, you know, usually it's only a few days out of the week. But like I said, in the mediums, you can use the phone anytime you want, as long as it ain't like after lights are out at nighttime. But during the day, you rock that phone all day long, 9 times out of 10. But sometimes there'll be like so many people wanting to use that phone, everybody will come together, make a list. Yo, I'm next. All right, and everybody's respectable about that. I've never seen really an issue with the phone in a medium. It's always been in a max because it's the limited phone time in a max. But the mediums ain't no big deal really, because you know, it's just, you can rock with the phones all day, every day. But you know, a lot of people can make money with the phones too. This is another little hustle that people would do with phones. They would do 3-ways, because there's a lot of dudes upstate that can't get a hold of their people at all. So I mean, if you get caught though, it's a ticket. You can't be doing that, rocking that like that. I mean, so you got to be careful. You got to be careful who you do it with, and you know, you got to be careful with the people knowing, because people will drop a slip on your ass, get your ass locked up. Like example, like say I was giving 3-ways to people, they'd be like, yo, PJ dropping, you know, giving such and such 3-ways, and they'll go check your phone record and listen in on the shit, and they got you nabbed for, you know, doing 3-ways. Those can't be doing that. They take that as losing money. So you're going to get a ticket for it, and you'll lose your phone privileges, all that good shit. I know people that have got knocked for it. I've never gotten knocked for it. And rarely did I ever give 3-ways to people. The only time I give 3-ways to people if it was an emergency and I really fucked with you. That was the only time. But it is a hustle. Like if you're fucked up upstate and you don't have money coming in like that, or you know, and you're only living off of state money, and it's a good way, man. Some people be charging $5 to $10. I mean, sometimes $15 for a 3-way, a whole click. You know, 5 minutes you can get like $5. You know, that's a quick little hustle, because somebody's always trying to talk, you know, to their family. You need, you know, but you want to make sure who you give them to too. You want to make sure the dude ain't a sucker, which is going to try to get over on you. Be like, yo, I got you at commissary. I've seen that happen before. You always want to try to make sure you know the dude. He's been on the dorm a lot. You don't want to make sure this dude just came to the dorm and he's trying to get over. You want to be careful who you do these to. And you know, it's to each its own. So like, say dude don't pay you. I mean, this can cause a problem for you, right? Say you give the dude a 3-way click, dude don't pay you. Guess what? You're fucked. You know what I'm saying? Because it puts you in a situation now, like he's going around telling homeboy, I deaded him on that. You know, and that makes you look like you're soft. And you know, and you put you in a situation where you got to do something, because that's the main thing upstate, man. You put yourself in these situations, you're gonna have to handle yours, because if you don't like to throw hands, you're gonna have a hard time. So if you're not a fighter and you don't want to put yourself in them situations, then don't put yourself in that kind of situations. Don't be handing out 3-ways. Don't be gambling, because these type of, you know, situations will lead eventually to throwing hands with somebody. I'm telling you that right now, right off the rip. All right. But that's pretty much it with the phones. You can turn that into a little hustle. His main thing is be respectable, man. Follow the guidelines. You know, don't be a dick. Don't be double clicking when you're not supposed to. Stuff like that. But that's pretty much it with the phones. If I forgot anything, somebody, you know, out there has experienced, you know, something with the phones, throw them in the comments. Let me know. Especially out west. If I wasn't right about how I broke down the phones out west, and you know, West Coast, you know, prisons, how they run their phones, please correct me in the comments. But you guys know how I end this. Please, if you haven't already, smash that subscribe, hit that like, people. Please help me out. More likes, more views, baby. I truly appreciate everything and all the support from you guys. Everybody stay free, safe, and corona free. See ya.